Mr. Stranger, what perfect timing it is for me to stumble upon you. I have a request for you, young man. Well, I understand that it might seem strange that I ask you. However, you need not fret. I can tell from the pure gleam of you that you exuberate the honors which the gods admonish. So I felt as if such an honorable young man could help me with a simple request. It would not be much work in the technical sense. I just simply ask that you go get me an apricot from the tree over there. As you can likely tell, my bones are fragile from age. I have not the strength to continue further, so here I sit waiting for someone, anyone, to come upon my path in order to seek and implore help. For with my age comes fatigue. I am sure that I am unable to continue any further. If I tried, my bones would surely shatter and my muscles fail. Surely, I tell you this comes from my hunger. So, if this hunger can be satiated, perhaps, then surely I could continue further. So, I further implore you for this simple help. Oh, you will help. Thank you for such a service. My gratitude can truly not be greater expressed. Oh, I would have never expected such a question. What great consideration towards my needs. Well, since you have asked, I would say perhaps 3 apricots would suffice. This hunger, which overwhelms my body, is great, but not that great, perhaps. But if that is not enough, I should be able to get enough from the tree by walking. For from there I can just gather more. Yet I cannot gather any apricots at the moment. So I beseech your help. With haste, young man. Thank you. I would have never been able to get such vital food if it were not for you, young man. I hope you understand this great service and virtue that is showing. Well, it is always important to show virtue. It exemplifies you before the gods. Wouldn't you agree? Well, you never know if one is watching. They often take the disguise of many things. They're quite shifty. In the shape sense, of course. And if you understand, perhaps I could explain more whilst you walk to your destination. Oh, well, I have no problem coming along. As it is, I have no end goal in sight. I am merely on my abouts. Delightful. Well, I assume you have heard the stories from your youth about the gods. They're very mischievous beings sometimes, as they are not much different than us in behavior. They love, they hate, they experience every form of agony and ecstasy as we do. So I can assure, when a god looks upon you and your virtue, he surely would grin from joy, and rightfully so. It is quite joyful to see such virtue in a young man such as yourself. I can tell you that. Oh, I tell you this to give you affirmation. I appreciate your actions, and I believe they should be affirmed. And you, yourself, deserve to be affirmed. In fact, it is not your actions alone which I appreciate. From a distance I could tell that you are extraordinary and excellent in manner. I can tell that not only are you virtuous, but you are talented and skilled. I can tell that you have been blessed by the gods in the craft, as I could tell. I suppose you could say that I do have an eye for such things. I suppose everyone has a certain aura about them, something that sets them apart, something that shows their blessing from the gods. I've always felt I've had a connection with the gods, if you understand. Well, I just find it easy, I suppose. Perhaps it is something more than I make it up to be. The gods are very mysterious, after all. Of course, I have never met one in person, so perhaps I wouldn't know. But what of you, young man? Have you ever met a god? No? I suppose that makes sense. I've heard they only truly appear to those whom they want some association with, whether that be for a contest, or perhaps for love. Oh? Why do I know such things? Well, I suppose I just know much of the stories. In fact, I dare say I know them quite dearly. Perhaps too dearly. Oh, I guess I'm making little sense. If that is the case, and I assume it is the case, then perhaps I should reveal that I have truly been in disguise. I truly wished you would have been a little more observant of this fact. An old man acting in such a way, I'm clueless as to how I pulled it off. Yet now I must reveal. All this talk about the gods comes from a place, as I can assume you can see now, of knowledge, which is of the gods. For I am a god. I mean, just look at me. To be more specific, the god Apollo. I assure you know me well. Well, why have I appeared to you? That truly seems quite like a silly question. I thought I have already explained that. Oh, no, it's not because I have any quarrels with you. I honestly thought it was self-evident. I have come to you to seek your love. I have had my eyes on you for a long time. I have seen your natural virtue and skill. Furthermore, I have bestowed my favor upon you. It is very true that you exhibit the true virtue of a Greek man. Perhaps not the most virtuous in the land, but certainly one who has caught my eye. Oh, yes, I said Greek. You are comparable with the best of the best, from Athens, Thebes, Corinth, Sparta, all the Greek realm. Not only that, but you are also the reflection of true beauty, of a properly sculpted body. It is truly amazing. But regardless, I ask for your love. Typically, I am not so straightforward about such things, but I have always been a very dynamic man. That is an interesting response, but I suppose it should be expected from such a valiant man. Well, I too would be honored to spend such romantic ventures with you. Perhaps we could spend greater time later. It seems the day is setting, and I do truly wish to spend more time in your company. However, I wish not to have you stay here for longer than you must. Well, it is simple. I just simply do not wish to put such a beautiful man in danger at night. But I will ensure you safe travels. Be on your way, beloved.